Crypto Dreams.
Hiya, my name is Jamie from Crypto Dreams. I'm going to show you how to create an NFT smart contract using the Thirdweb platform. The reason why I'm creating this video is because there are so many OpenSea creators out there that are frustrated with the recent changes that OpenSea have made. Basically, for those that don't know, OpenSea recently announced a major change to their platform. Many creators were using OpenSea's lazy mint tool to upload their art. OpenSea have now disabled this tool, causing much frustration to the creators as they can no longer add more to existing OpenSea only collections. OpenSea now want everyone to create smart contracts, and they have launched new tools to help creators do this, called OpenSea Studio. I know many of you are worried by this idea because it goes into developer territory, but creating smart contracts used to be very hard and required coding, but these days there are companies making this easier for you. We have personally used Thirdweb for our smart contracts. I recommend Thirdweb as their website is easy to use, plus their Discord support is brilliant. Before I start this tutorial, I just want to make you aware of what can be done using smart contracts. So one, they give you ownership and control. For example, those that created collections using OpenSea Lazy Mint tool do not have full control, as they cannot upload any more to their existing collections. With your own smart contract, it means that you can set rules of how your NFTs will be traded online. So two, smart contracts lock metadata. This means that once you mint an NFT, you will not be able to edit it. Number three, you could do more with smart contracts if you wanted to, such as creating a mint button for your website. Number four, having a smart contract means you can display your NFT collection in other marketplaces. So say if you created an Ethereum smart contract and you display that on OpenSea, you can just simply link your wallet to other marketplaces like Rarible, and it would also display in that marketplace. So it means you get a larger audience. So that's quite a big advantage. Okay, let's get started with the tutorial. So I'm going to show you how to create a smart contract using the Thirdweb platform. So first of all, we're going to log into MetaMask. And for this demo, I'm going to use the Gurley network, which is a test network. And it's always best to run it for a test network first before you do it through Ethereum or Polygon. So we're going to log into Thirdweb. So the address of the website is thirdweb.com, but just like most Web3 applications on the internet and NFT marketplaces, you've got to be very careful about the address. So as you can see, although I've typed in Thirdweb, you can see these other ones trying to catch you out, and they're scam websites because they're actually misspelled. If you log into them, it's possible they could actually steal your NFTs. And it's the same for marketplaces as well. Like there could be slight variations of the OpenSea name or Rarible name, and you can accidentally log into those because they're trying to copy the website. So yeah, it's absolutely essential. Make sure it's thirdweb.com. So yeah, this is thirdweb.com. So we have to click this, get started, and then contracts, and then deploy a contract. And here there's quite a few options, but all you really need to look at is NFT drop or where is it? NFT collection. They're both ERC-721 contracts, but the only difference is that NFT drops classed as ERC-721A, and NFT collection is ERC-721 without the A. There is slight differences between them. The contracts are coded slightly differently depending on what you want to do, because with a contract you can't have everything. It has to be made in a certain way to make it more efficient at doing one thing over something else. So the NFT drop is in general good for for drops for events or for delayed reveals. It's useful if you want other wallets to mint NFTs from your drop into their wallet. In general, for the NFT drop, the gas is actually lower for mints, but higher for transactions or buyers. So yeah, just bear that in mind. You know how what the effect of the gas is, but you only have to worry about that really if you're doing Ethereum. You know, you have to be a bit more fussy with the gas. With the NFT collection option, the when you do mint, it's minted straight away. So I don't think you'll have a option for delayed reveals or for people to sort of mint them from your website. But yeah, so the difference of how the gas works on this one is that the gas will probably be higher for minting, but lower for transactions or buyers. For this example, I'm going to show you how to do the NFT drop, and that's what we've personally used for projects in the past. So it does give you some explanation about what this is, and don't be intimidated by all this code. You don't need to do anything with this. This is just to show you what the contract is. You just need to click deploy now and just fill in, yeah, just like you would on an NFT marketplace like OpenSea. You know, you just give your collection a name. So I'm going to call this test collection NFT drop, and then you give it a symbol NFT drop. I'm going to upload an image which represents my collection. Which I'm going to, yep, use that. So, but this is a NFT drop test collection created by Jamie. Yeah, so recipient address, that's my public wallet address. So that means I own this contract. So this percentage is a royalty. So I'm going to put that at 6%. I believe you have to put, I believe you have to actually write in what percentage you want when you upload it to a marketplace. But this is just a sort of, in general, what you like. But I think it changes per marketplace. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all you have to do to set it up. And then you just pick what network chain you want. So I'm picking the Gurley network chain, and I'll click deploy now. And there will be a gas fee for deploying a contract. In this case, well, this is just sort of fake money really, because it's a test contract. But in general, if it was Polygon, you don't really have to worry too much. It's going to be incredibly cheap. You know, it can almost be, you can almost consider it free. But with the Ethereum network, yeah, it can be a lot more. It's hard to say, but if you are going to do it, make sure you do it on the weekend or something, when gas is lower for Ethereum. So let's confirm to set that up. Okay, it's saying my wallet will get a prompt for the transaction. So let's see what my wallet's doing. Yeah, okay, so I had to go into my wallet to approve the contract. Okay, it's saying that's successful. It kind of gives you a bit of guidance as well, Thirdweb. So it's saying that contract deployed. So that's what we just done. And now it's encouraging me to upload NFTs to that contract. So to do that, you have NFTs tab here on the left. And the first thing you'll notice, it says contract NFTs. So this is my actual contract test collection NFT drop. And at the moment, I've got no NFTs linked to that contract because it says total supply 0, and it's got claimed supply and unclaimed supply. So I'll explain that later. I think I just need to go ahead and do it and show you how to upload. There is different ways you can do it. So say if you want to upload 10,000 NFTs, you can actually do that in one go, and that's called batch upload. Let's have a little look at the batch upload. It's saying that when you do a batch upload, it wants it as a .csv file, which is kind of like it's basically an Excel file, or a .json file. A .json file is in a notepad file, but instead of it being .text, it's .json, and it has some sort of coding format it follows. It's quite hard to know what majority of people do because it all depends on your project. But I think in this situation, I'm just gonna show how to upload one at a time because a lot of people on OpenSea quite like that method, just be able to upload one at a time. So that's what I'm going to show, and then maybe in a later video I'll show you how to use this batch upload and how to create such files to do a lot of data, or maybe how you generate your art. It might even give you such a file. It depends on how you generate your art. If you're just doing sort of one-offs, then single upload. But if you've got an automated sort of process, then batch upload. Anyway, yeah, so let's go and upload the first piece. So I'm going to call it, NFT image 1. And I'm uploading this image. And I'm going to call it NFT image 1 with sad face. And just like NFT marketplaces, when you used to use their own in-house tool to upload stuff, you do have that here. You've got properties which you could put in. So it's picking up stuff I've done before. So creator, that's Crypto Dreams. You can add a row, background. You can have clouds, an emoji. Sad, but yeah, you can enter whatever you want in. And just remember, on the left will be the main property, and on the right is how the variation. So ideally, you'd want to have, like always, if every picture has a background, then you'd always have background here, and then you have the how it varies here on the right. So yeah, that's what I'm doing just as an example. There are 3 different properties. With the advanced options, you can put in your website address in external URL or any address you want. We normally put a cryptodreams.co.uk because that's our website. And yeah, don't worry about the others. Really, it's just that external URL that matters the most. And that will actually appear on the marketplace. So when you connect your wallet to a marketplace after to try and view your art, that link would appear. All right, let's go lazy mint NFT. And we have to confirm. Let me just go into my MetaMask. Yeah, okay, so we can see that total supply is now 1 because we've uploaded art, within our Thirdweb platform. And now it's saying the owner has a address of 000. So this is an unclaimed NFT. So what we can do now is claim that. So when we claim it, it means we own it, and it also means it's minted. At the moment, this is not classed as a mint. So how it's sitting there at the moment is a bit like what OpenSea used to do with the lazy mint tool. So you used to upload your art to OpenSea. If you wasn't doing it via a contract, you just upload it through the lazy mint tool. It won't actually be an NFT until someone's bought it. This is the same situation. It's Yeah, we have an owner address of 0, and it doesn't become the NFT until it's claimed. There's a few ways it can be claimed. It can actually be claimed through a mint button on a website, which I can show you that in another video. Or it could be, I think it could be claimed through Etherscan, but in general, it'd be the creator that would normally mint a lot of these, and then they'd be sold on. Okay, so let's claim it. It's saying that it's going to go to my address, and I'm claiming 1. Oh, okay. So it's come up with this message saying failed to claim NFT. That's because I forgot to set claim conditions. Yeah, this is another thing you need to do. So if you go to claim conditions, you can add phases. We're going to add public. Yeah, so what this does is, like, say if you was going to do a drop and you had a special mint button on your website, you can say that you want to leave it open for 2 weeks, and people can mint for a certain price, and you're willing to give your followers a cheaper price for minting them. Or this is how we do it. So we've got, when will this phase start? Let's do it now. This is basically setting rules for exactly who can claim or mint your NFTs. And that includes yourself as well. Unless you set this, you can't actually mint anything. So this is why you need to tell Thirdweb, what permissions people have. And so in this case, I'm just going to set it to public, which means anyone, including myself, can go and mint one of these. And it says how much you want to charge. I'm just going to put 0.0001, just any value. And it's saying how many NFTs we want to drop in this phase. So I'm going to put unlimited. How many NFTs we claim per wallet. I'm going to let basically anyone mint as many as they want per wallet. I'll go to save phases. And we have to sign that, because everything has a gas fee. Any type of transaction you do on any network, you would have to confirm it. Okay, so that's set. So it's saying it's currently active, but you can actually set this so you can have a public claim condition, and you can have an owner claim condition, so owners can claim certain NFTs or all of them, or a certain amount. So it's up to you, what sort of project you have, of what claim conditions you set. But just remember that no NFTs can be claimed unless you have this set. So let's go back to NFTs. So now I'm going to claim this NFT here. Yep, now it's letting me. Okay, it says successfully claimed NFTs. Just refreshing this. Yeah, so it's got total supply and claimed supply. And if I click on this, yeah, you'll see that this is the details we entered for that NFT. And yeah, so what I've just done there is claimed it, which is also known as minting it. And minting is basically a posh word for creating. So I've actually created an NFT from this smart contract. And this smart contract is set rules of how this could be traded. And a good example of that rule is the claim conditions. That's our rules. And yeah, there's a lot of other details in the contract, which is complex, but there's strict rules there of how this should be traded. Okay, so what you really want to know is what happens with this, because obviously you can't stay in Thirdweb because you want to see this on an NFT marketplace. Well, the good news is you can. So let's head over to OpenSea. Because we're using because we're using a test network, it also means we need to view this asset on the OpenSea test network, or what they call the test net. So if you type in OpenSea testnet, so yes, this is over testnets.opensea.io. And you know it's OpenSea testnet because it have this right in here, testnets. This is actually it's owned by OpenSea. It's the same as OpenSea, but it's specifically for testing contracts. So that means you can fuel your work in here before you launch, the real thing. So so you don't make any mistakes, basically. So let's see if our collections appeared. I think this is one I've done before. So let's get I think we can actually copy the address of it. So we copy the contract address and put that in. Yeah, it's come up. So test collection NFT drop. That's what we called it. That's the name of our contract. And as you can see, we have our image, or NFT. That's the NFT we created. And it's appeared in here. This is the description for the collection that I put in when I created the collection. Now let's click this NFT. That's the description for the NFT that I put in. NFT image 1 with sad face. These are the traits. And under details, you know that it's a smart contract because it says ERC-721. And it says here the chain. So when you do yours, it's likely to be Ethereum or Polygon. And that's the creator earnings, 6%. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. You can just keep doing the same thing to add, the, your NFTs. So what we do another one, single upload, to get the names consistent. I quite like to go back into this one to see what it's called. So I'm going to call it NFT image 2. Yeah, and then this can be called NFT image 2 with hearts. And we can put the traits in for this. So we've got background. This is going to be stars for background. Emoji, hearts. Let's go lazy mint. Yep, we sign a contract to make sure we're signing it off. Yeah, Sometimes you have to wait a little while for it to do it. Yeah, you also notice there's no catch bar phase you have to go through, so you can actually upload things quite quick this way. Yeah, so this is interesting. So now we've got two in there. So one has the owner address of myself, and this is not owned by anyone yet, not even me. So just to show you how this, the concept of this, we will not see NFT image 2 in our collection yet, because it's technically not. It's not an NFT. It's not being minted to the Gurley network. So that means it's not going to show in there. It's only going to show when it's actually claimed. So if I go to claim here, I'm going to go claim NFT. Yeah, and say if you dropped 1,000 NFTs in here, it's always going to claim the next one in this list. So if you added a mint button to your website, which basically does the same function as what this does, whatever's next to be unclaimed will go to that person that claims it via a mint button. Yeah, I could show you an example of a mint button actually. So if we go to our website, and then we've got a mint button on our website for House of Toys. At the moment, it says sold out because there's no unclaimed NFTs. They've all been purchased or minted. But yeah, that's what it looks like. So if there was ones to be claimed, it means someone can someone can log their wallet into this, and they can say how many they want, and then what will happen is they will have an NFT minted from this list. So any ones that are 0 or unclaimed, they can then claim it for the price that are set in claim conditions. So that's the advantage of the NFT drop, is that it gives you this ability to easily do this. And you can actually add the mint button quite easy. So if you do have a website, then it pretty much gives you the code for it to add it into your website. So you can actually customize the colors of this. So that's what it will look like. And it gives you an embed code. So you just copy that to a clipboard. And this is a HTML code that you can simply just insert this into your web page. And this is what will be displayed in your website. So then people can then start minting your work, which is brilliant. So before this, there probably would have been, I think people would have had a hard time, trying to come up with the exact code to do this. But it's giving you everything. And that's what Thirdweb does. It actually gives you loads of tools to do what you want. Probably even if you created contracts for gaming or anything like that, it actually, there's tools in this software to do that. Okay, let's go back and mint some more. Oh yeah, so because I claimed that, that's now appeared. So you see both of them there. Yeah, so let's create 2 more just to finish this off. So that's NFT image 3. Let's put in the traits. Oh yeah, by the way, the properties, description, and your image, all that is called metadata. Yeah, so this is grass. Emoji. I'm going to put as cool. Lazy mint that. Yep, just got to wait for that to happen. Yeah, for those that want a bit more technical knowledge, when it comes to the metadata itself don't actually live on the blockchain. It's only the contract that does. But what the contract does do is point to a link or a storage sort of website which has your metadata, and where that metadata is stored is normally on something called an IPFS. It's an IPFS. It's just it's a bit like, I suppose you could compare it to how web pages are stored. It's just a computer which stores data, but the IPFS is designed to constantly sort of keep your data is spread through a massive network of computers. So it lasts forever basically. But the good thing about Thirdweb is that they do all that for you. They actually use Pinata as the IPFS. So all your metadata is stored on Pinata, which is a very trustworthy storage system. Yeah, so all you have to do is worry about just creating your fantastic collections. You don't have to worry about the technical side of it, which is why it's such a good platform to use. Okay, so let's do another image. So NFT image 4. Create dreams. That's wood background. Tongue. Oh, okay, I might have spelled it wrong, but yeah, if we just wait a few more seconds. Okay, so they're the 4 images uploaded. As you can see, there's 2 unclaimed ones here, so we're not going to see them yet on here. But what I can do is just click claim. I'll say I'm going to claim 2. Yeah, the good thing about using NFT drop function is that you can just take your time just uploading art. You don't have to do it all in one go, but it is advisable to, if you're going to mint, if you're going to use Ethereum and you're going to mint on it, you want to mint as many as possible in one go to save on gas. Yeah, so now they'll show on OpenSea. Yeah, there we have it. We have a first collection with the smart contract. And as you can see, it's working out the traits already. So that's the good thing about metadata. OpenSea understands this, and it's then able to work out what the traits are. Also, I think also I think metadata will be used for many different things in the future as well, not just NFT marketplaces, but all sorts of applications might be able to use that data. Because I see a lot of people creating collections without creating traits or description data. But I do think it's worthwhile. If why just have an image on its own if you can just have all this extra stuff that can come with it, and it might be used in the future for something. Yeah, I think it will help to give your image a bit more value. Okay, yeah, I think I've covered quite a bit on this lesson. I'll probably go a bit more in depth on the next ones. But yeah, if you've got anything in particular you want to know, please leave some comments, and also don't forget to subscribe. Yeah, thanks. I'll see you.